As I sit down to share these real-life tales from the subreddit relationship advice, I'm excited to dive into the ups and downs of love, heartbreak, and everything in between. With a mix of humor, empathy, and sometimes even a healthy dose of skepticism, we'll explore what makes relationships tick or not. Me, 21 female, and my girlfriend, 26 female, have been together for a year and I don't know how to give my girl space when she is upset at me. Me, 21 female, and my girlfriend, we are not perfect, and we fight at times, sometimes over stupid things. One thing though, is that I tend to be more anxious, and she is more avoidant. When someone is upset, I'm the one who wants to talk about it, and ask questions, and solve the issue immediately. She's the one who wants to not talk about it, and wants space. This has been a huge issue for a while, and we haven't been really listening to the other person, the way they need when it comes to fighting. I have recently realized that I really do need to work on giving her space. In fact, I already know what she needs. I just don't know how to give it to her. I am always the one over at her house, specifically her room, when we are together. So I am in her physical space. When we fight, she will express that she doesn't want to talk and she just wants to watch the TV. The thing is, we always cuddle when watching TV. But when she's upset, she turns cold and wants to continue watching TV without cuddling, yet alone acknowledging me. Now the part where I struggle is I don't know how to sit with it. She's upset and she just wants to watch TV, but I feel like I can't because it makes me anxious and I feel out of place in her room and I start to overthink, and so I keep bothering her to talk, which frustrates her more. So the question is, how do I sit with myself in this anxiety? She just wants to watch TV until she's ready to talk, but I don't know if it'll take 10 minutes or 2 hours. And if it is 2 hours, how do I physically handle being in her room while she's upset and I want to talk? How do I too just get to the point where I can be comfortable watching TV on her bed, in her room, with her ignoring me, and me knowing that she is upset with me? To put it shortly, how do I give her space without feeling the need to bombard her to ease my own anxiety? And now for the next story. 2020 on them thoughts on long-distance relationships. I'm dating someone who is incredibly sweet, hardworking, and kind. Is literally someone I would marry. He's such a great guy. I love him very much, but we are in different states. It's hard to find time to talk as we are both incredibly busy with work, and I just don't know that I am happy. A lot has happened this year, and I fucked up and cheated, which really screwed up the trust in our relationship. And there's a lack of communication, and if there's communication about it, we can't seem to find a resolution. He's always there for me about everything else, we just find it so difficult to talk about our relationship. I truly do love him and regret my actions and that I hurt him. When we're together, everything truly does seem amazing for the most part. But when certain issues get brought up, it just feels like we're stuck, waiting for something to happen. I guess I'm just looking for an outside perspective on the relationship. Missing him hurts, but I don't want anyone else. And now for the next story. How important would it be to let my boyfriend know my ex has a tattoo of my bite mark? 24 female, 22 male. One of my exes back when I was 16 got a tattoo of my bite mark on him. He was 20 at the time. It wasn't something I suggested. He just said he always wanted a bite mark tattoo and thought it be mine. Since we were dating, that just made sense. We broke up about half a year later, just cause we kind of grew apart as our interests changed. We were both pretty young, and there was no hard feelings. We're still friends on Facebook. Now fast forward 8 years later, and my current boyfriend has been talking about how cute it would be to get a tattoo of my bite mark, because I'm always biting him. Cute aggression. I did not recommend this to him, and I actually think it's a super cute idea. It's not something he wants to get right away or anything, but he seems pretty intent on getting it eventually. As said, I love the idea because I think it's really cute, but now I'm realizing it might be kind of weird if he had basically the same tattoo my ex had. My bite mark. I've never told him about the fact my ex had that tattoo, because honestly it never really popped into my head till now. I'm wondering if I should tell my current boyfriend about the fact that my ex has a tattoo of my bite mark. Me and that ex are basically more like just friends than exes, cause we only dated for about a year when I was in high school. Wasn't a serious relationship. I'm worried he's gonna feel weird if I tell him that someone else has a tattoo of my bite mark on him already. Plus I love the idea of it with my current BF. It has more meaning for us than just a random tattoo my ex wanted. But also, if my boyfriend got that tattoo, then later realized he has a matching tattoo with my ex, I am unsure how he'd feel. And now for the next story. Last night, my BF, 26 male, was convinced that I, 25 female, was touching myself and lying about it. I'm very confused and distressed about it. I don't know where to go from here. Insight? Advice? This has been extremely confusing, and I've felt distressed since it happened. Things are tense and awkward, and we haven't talked about it yet. I don't know what to do or say. My mind is red flagging this. And to break things off, for context, he and I have only been officially dating for a couple weeks after 2 months of getting to know each other. We do not live together. We've had a great relationship since meeting. I also have to mention something from Friday for later relevance. Friday night, B loses his erection during sex, and we stop. I casually reassure him, and Thibgigs moves on until we fall asleep. Saturday morning, we attend a family friends event. Afterwards, we go back to my place where I bake cupcakes for a birthday party later that night, while he leaves to run an errand. He comes back a couple hours later to pick me up for the party. I'm stressed and tired from a baking mishap, but we go and spend a couple hours at the party. I have low energy and mood, so we go back to my place. I go to sleep while he stays up. At some point, he wakes me up, asking what I'm doing. I say sleeping, and he asks if I'm masturbating. I say no, and go back to sleep. This repeats twice. Each time he seems more upset and says there's no reason for me to lie. He also mentions hearing clicking and me making noises, which I do in my sleep. He brings up what happened Friday night and insists again that I don't need to lie about masturbating. In getting more upset and show him not doing anything, I even reach inside my nightstand and toss the pouch with my toys on his side of the bed and go back to sleep. It happens a final time. Now, I'm distressed and crying from having my sleep repeatedly disturbed. He tries to console me with a hug. He makes a remark about leaving the room or house he feels like is going crazy, and that I probably don't want to be with someone like that. That things'll be awkward tomorrow. He ended up not going home. He leaves my room for a while, before eventually returning and finally falling asleep. He's still asleep as I type this. I need advice. Too long. Didn't read my BF. Continually woke me up during the night and accused me of masturbating, even though I wasn't. He made some remarks that were concerning and distressing. Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. He sounds like he needs a team of therapists, and you are not them. Lock the door, and don't let him back in. Totally this. I can't get over the fact that he repeatedly woke you up to ask you something that was none of his business. Remember, believe people when they show you who they are. Right? This is his insecurity. And the relationship is new. This will not improve. He sounds like he definitely has PTSD and traumas. Noise sensitivity, body movements, and being very controlling. He needs serious help. Sorry, a romantic relationship is just not going to work out. Friendships, acquaintances, and support network is pertinent for him. Please move on. Don't take him on as a Project Bob the Builder. I agree. This smacks of very deep mental illness, and its shades of danger. Unless he is getting intensive help, this will only get worse. This is not a safe situation. It's new, and you're young. Block him, lock him out. Cut your losses, and find someone who knows how to behave and how to treat a partner. And now for the next story. I've, 28 female, been faking most orgasms with my husband, 31 male, for years, and now it's causing problems. I've, 28 female, been faking most orgasms with my husband, 31 male, and now it's causing problems because I'm selfish for finishing first. For some context, my husband and I have been together for 7 years, married for 3. Since the beginning of our relationship, I've had the bad habit of faking orgasms during penetrative sex. At first, I thought it wasn't a big deal, but as time went on, I felt stuck. I've never truly orgasmed from penetration alone. However, I orgasm regularly during masturbation or oral sex, often multiple times. For example, my husband usually stops oral after I come 3 times, but I've even hit 14 during solo play. So, I know the issue isn't my ability to orgasm. The problem started because he seemed to take pride in making me come during sex. I didn't want to ruin that for him. It made him feel accomplished and confident. Sometimes I faked it just to relieve the slight awkwardness of him trying hard to make it happen. Over time, I fell into a pattern. 2 orgasms during penetration, then head finish. It felt easier to keep up the act than to address it. Honestly, this routine has worked for years. She seemed happy, and I was okay with it. Has reiterated several times how proud he is, in a humble brag, "Aren't you lucky to have me?" kind of way, that he pleases me so much with penetration. But yesterday, everything changed. Out of nowhere, he implied that I'm sexually selfish because I focus on my pleasure instead of his during penetrative sex, coming twice before he finishes. I was shocked first, because I faked those orgasms for his benefit, and second, because I thought it made sense for me to finish first, since sex is essentially over after he comes. He suggested I focus more on his pleasure instead of mine. He said that by me usually always finishing before him, it seems that I'm focusing more on my pleasure than his. His comment hurt. I've spent years faking orgasms to boost his confidence, and now he's calling me selfish for it. I wanted to blurt out the truth, but I couldn't. I feel like this is the final straw, though. I honestly don't want to fake it anymore. Any advice on how to navigate this delicate situation? Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. Just stop faking it. Yep, time to start being honest about it. I also don't come from penetrative, only from clitoral stimulation. And I'm sorry, but most guys want you to come as many times as possible before they finish. At least that's been my experience. I've never had a guy get mad at me for finishing first. If he did, I probably wouldn't sleep with him anymore. I definitely prefer it if she finishes first. I like the freedom it gives me that I don't have to be holding back forever, especially as I get older, and it becomes a tightrope between my own fun becoming unstoppable or losing it altogether. None of my partners have ever wanted to carry on for more after coming once, though. I don't know how I'd even know when it was my turn if that happened. And yes, I'm sure they weren't faking it to get rid of me. Yep, IDKY husband would actually want to finish first. When I'm done, I just want to relax, not perform oral for several minutes when I'm not really in the mood anymore. I will do it because it's important she gets hers too, but it's so much better for both of us if she finishes first. She's a one and done kind of gal, so it works out well. Yep, my motto. Please feel free to finish first and finish often. It'll be by sometime after. This is correct. Tons of women only come via clitoral stimulation. The husband should not get annoyed if OPS of the sex is not going how he wants it to. As long as OP is happy, he should be too, but OP should not be faking orgasms either. The best sex comes from open communication. Like and subscribe for more awesome daily Reddit content. And don't forget to hit the bell to get notified when I upload new videos.